The question in my mind is, how do you create or relaunch a highly profitable and successful 6 to 7 figure business? With so much conflicting advice about the best ways to start and grow your business, how do you get it right the first time? I want to help entrepreneurs make a real difference and navigate the messy world of startup or relaunch. My name is John North, and this is the Startup Secrets for Entrepreneur Show. Join me today when we dig deep with our guests and get you the best blueprint so you can fast track your own business. This episode is sponsored by Evolvepreneur.app, your all-in-one online business system. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at startupsecrets.show right now. So let's get into today's episode. My very special guest today is Craig Schulze, who's one of the world's leading lifestyle entrepreneurs. So welcome, Craig, to the show.
Thanks for having me, John. Looking forward to it.
Cool, man. So we're going to do a really quick episode today. And so the idea is that we can only get a really secret tip from you. But first, tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah, just in short, I've been in business 20 years. I had 5 gyms, set up 22 franchises, built a 7-figure online business. I'm an investor in both property and in private companies. And I'm also a content creator myself with my own book, podcast, and a lot of education programs as well.
Okay, so you've done a little bit of stuff.
Just a bit.
You've got some experience. So probably there's a good qualified question to ask you whether you've got a secret to get all that thing started, because obviously in 20 years, even though that sounds like a lot, right? So a lot of times it's actually quite fast start. So what's your number one tip that you would give someone that wants to start something quickly? They may already be in business, and obviously in this sort of climate, sometimes it's a pivot. But what's your sort of number one secret you tell your students to get started?
Yeah, look, I think you've got to lay some really good foundations when you're growing a business. And when I talk about foundations, having the right people around you, whether it's mentors, what I refer to as world-class team, also have a really well-defined North Star, where you're going, what your business looks like in 3 years, 5 years, if everything goes well, and reverse engineer back. And really everything is about developing skills to grow and evolve. So for me, I always just say, look, if you're got a business in this area, you really need to develop your skills to become the top 1% of your niche. And once you're in the top 1% of your niche, more opportunities come your way. So focus on growing, evolving, getting the right people around you, the right mindset. And if you can do that, lay those foundations, you'll set yourself up to win.
And it's interesting, like when you look at a new platform like Clubhouse, where it's really a new ground, and you see some of these guys have come in and they've really dedicated themselves to it. And you see now they're starting to win now. I was watching one, I think Gary Henderson or whatever, I was looking at him the other day. He's really focused on it. And you can see that he's winning the game because he just focused on it and just kept doing it over and over and again. He probably did a great job, but now he's got good at it.
Yeah, look, I mean, like anything, I think repetition is really important in the fitness industry, turning up day after day, building those habits, and putting a good framework and good structure around you and having a plan in place. That's really the secret to success. And I was a Clubhouse 12-hour-a-day user there for a while myself, and saw people like Gary and they did incredibly well and will do incredibly well. But I always look at those entrepreneurs, those big influencers on those platforms, they'd put in the work beforehand. So sometimes you do need to spend time in your industry, in your profession, before you really go out and really make it all happen. It's sort of nearly an exponential growth curve. You put in the hard yards and then everything pays off at the end.
Makes sense, yeah. And I think that's the trouble. Starting fast doesn't mean you're doing something fast. It means you're actually focused on something, individually, to make sure you get good at it and then expand from there, right?
Yeah, I always say to people, sometimes enthusiasm on fire is better than knowledge on ice, because you can be an expert and bankrupt in a year if you don't go and take the action. So that taking action is critically important for success. But you do need to build up that knowledge, that intellectual capital, intellectual property, and then apply it to your craft.
Right. Great. Thanks, excellent. That's awesome. So, Craig, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
It's simply my name. Like, I'm out there educating on helping people live life with passion and purpose with my podcast, which I host on my website, simply at craigschulze.com. You'll find me on most social media platforms, most active on LinkedIn and Instagram. So you can connect with me there as well. But just my name. Schulze is spelled Schulze, but I'm sure it'll be in the show notes.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for coming along, and we'll look to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, John.
Hey, John North, your host here. Stay listening for the next short episode where we cover secret number 5 with Manoush, covering the myths of business, and you certainly do not want to miss this one. That's a wrap on another awesome episode for the Startup Secret Show for entrepreneurs. Just before you go, if you like this episode, we'd be very grateful for a 5-star review. Please also consider recommending the show to a friend or two. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes at startupsecrets.show right now. Until next time, if you're an entrepreneur, make a start on your next great business idea today.